Welcome back, hunters! I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to the Hunter Classic with our final weekend for our Timbergold Trails Expeditions series. So we've covered quite a bit of the map for... Oh, went out a little too far. Quite a bit of the map from when we played and gone through Timbergold Trails. Like, we've done through here quite a bit. We've been up along here to get up into there. Been down around here, been all through here. So we've seen quite a bit of the place. I think 10 episodes has been a great amount, or will be a great amount, for having shown off most of the map and the game. And as I try to figure out what place I'll go to next, and I'll already have a poll up for letting you guys vote on where we go, I'm going to bring the Happy Camper tent along with us, so I can, place another spawn point in maps. I don't think I'd do expeditions on any of these, like White Heart, Loggers Creek, Settlers Point. All those are a little bit too overlapping for animal roster, but I'd probably say Red Feather Falls, White Rime, basically every other map aside from those I'd be alright with trying to do expeditions on. So I'll have a poll going up, or have probably had one up before this episode goes live, and you guys can start voting for which option you'd like to see next on the series. But for this one, we're just going to do for a general purpose hunt, and just see whatever we can find as we go about on it. I would have liked to try showcasing the pumas a bit more, the cougars, mountain lions, whatever you want to call them. But I don't think they're an animal that you can really pin down to having a certain territory. They seem to be much more of a nomadic, elusive kind for a map. I think their range can basically be anywhere around the entire center up here, and maybe even down in the south, too. It just makes them something more where you'll hear a call, and you have to try to very carefully figure out exactly how you want to deal with them. So every other species, I think well, maybe not in the Expedition series, because the grizzly bear is one that I didn't really show off too much of. But when I did the previous little reserve peak, we did get to see them a bit, so... Although, actually, I have gotten a few grizzly, I think, in the Expedition series itself, so I certainly have nothing I feel like I've missed in doing this so far. It's been great to show off both spotting the stalk, ambushing, going through blinds. So I think this was a great way to really go in deep for this reserve, and I'm very happy to take this approach across into other ones. And yeah, as for what I might be saving my GM points, or my GM bucks on, I think I'm going to save up to try to figure out a few bird setups. I'm not going to go for, every setup possible across every map. No, that's going to be a bit ridiculous, but... places like Rougarou Bayou, which really heavily have a lot of waterfowl species, I think I'll have to try to get a setup there. And maybe somewhere else as well. Maybe even on Piccabean Bay, because I've heard the magpie geese have been a very high reward for, a GM bucks if you get them. But we'll see. I'll let you guys vote first, and we'll see where we'll be going off to next. I'm kind of leaning to want to go to White Rime, because it was... I think Timbergold Trails and White Rime Ridge were my, best reserves I really did good on, and had a lot to show off for them. There are still a number of animals I don't think I got on either one. Well, no, Well, White Rime and Piccabean, it's hard to say which one I'll actually go and do. Now that I'm getting much better using the bow and arrow, I think that's also opening up more opportunities for what I'd go after as well, but I'll leave it to, again, you guys polling, and we'll see what results come up. We've already had a very successful poll recently for one of the new series I'll be trying on the channel, and it looks like it's going to be Hunting Simulator 2. I do wish I could have gotten it on sale, because it is kind of steep for, cost-wise. It's going to be... Oh, how much is it going to turn out to be? I think it's going to be something like $5 or $50 or around there. It's definitely one that I'm surprised how much it costs, but we'll see. Maybe I can get lucky and there'll be a sale or something will come up for it. Yeah, we'll just go along here, see whatever we can get for this weekend, and bring our little time with Hunter Classic. Or, sorry, not the Hunter Classic. Bring our time and expeditions on Timbergold Trails to a close. I don't think I've actually really just followed the trail south from the tent. In all the times I've been, I think I've, gone back and forth a few times. Just because there'd be, animal calls or that, which would distract me. But so far, it has been fairly silent as we've gone about. We haven't had anything like the Actually, I guess we have had a grizzly call right from the tent when we spawned in, so we have showcased a good majority of the roster for the animals you can hunt on Timbergold. You just got to enjoy a little nice relaxing weekend to wind things up with. I didn't really go too much into the missions for Timbergold Trails, because, again, I kind of feel like it's better not really having too specific of a goal in mind. Like, I started off the series with wanting to go after the bighorns, and I think that was kind of a thing where even just going up to get 1 or 2 like I did on the first couple episodes was still an alright way to start off the Expedition series. But I think if I tried to focus a little too hard, like, go for a specific animal within certain distance within, like, putting more goals kind of restricts yourself a bit more, and if you don't meet them, you can kind of feel that. Almost kind of like you're letting yourself down in a way, so I think this more generalized style of just using different approaches to hunting the animals. Oh, well, we're starting off with something interesting, aren't we? I'm thinking maybe we'll actually look at using the blind. Oh, actually, I think there's a number of calls. So if I can find a nice level spot up here, because it looks like from a mini-map here, if I can get this set up in a decent enough spot that has good visibility. Yeah, right there probably work good. I think we're still out of range, so we won't scare anybody off. Let me use a scent eliminator. And let me see, where is the e-collar? Okay, I've got to get it back onto the bar there. Looks like we might be able to start this off with a wolf or 2, though. Yeah, we'll wait around here for a bit. I think I put it down. Yeah, so the collar's right there. That should work just fine. I got fairly good visibility up towards where they might come in from. I'm just hoping that I placed the ground blind enough distance away that I didn't spook anything in the surrounding area. Because that's one of the hard parts, is when you put down blinds, towers, or stuff like that, I believe there's a radius around them that all animals get startled and hear what you're doing, so that can easily scare them off. That's still going, is it? Should be. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just give this a moment or two. I'm surprised how well this has worked in, like, the Expedition series, too. Like, we've had a few times where we managed to get a number of animals just from this little setup. Kind of spotting or hearing them in distance, get everything set up, and surprisingly been able to lure them right in. I would like to try testing this out on other animals, but let's see, puma, bobcat, and lynx is basically going to be cat species. I think outside of Timbergold, really, I don't know if the e-collar has much other use. Well, I shouldn't say that, but, like, you definitely need to be focusing on these animals to get the most out of your e-collar. One thing I don't hear, though, is, like, any barking or that. Like, the one time I had the 2 wolves that came in, I guess it was starting at the other lodge. Yeah, it was starting at the western lodge. I could almost hear them barking and, like, in the distance a bit as they were coming in, but it's been pretty silent up getting all this prepared here. Oh. Just heard a little bark. I think we'll have them coming in from over there. I don't know if they'll be rushing in like a sprint, kind of like how they basically erupted or exploded out of the bush last episode, was it? Yeah, I hear them. It sounds like they're right around there. Just gotta wait a bit. I think they should be pulled in. Oh, yeah, there's one. Well, you got locked into an animation, so... What is going on with you? You're the one Are you gonna... You're the one that has an arrow stuck in you. What are... Now you... Okay, you're going to be an interesting one to try going after. It's like, he's the one that I did get with the arrow. But I guess when they go to howl, they actually get locked into an animation. So if you actually had, like, a weapon with a good capacity, you could try to get both animals when they're stuck in their howling animation. I don't know how good of a hit that was, because, like... You know, the other guy's probably going to be away for a while. Oh, no, okay, so I think that's actually him dropped right there. Yeah, like, that was bizarre. The Hunter Classic has some things to be worked and improved on, but, like, that was... a weird sequence to see. But looks like we did get a pretty good shot with that arrow. Actually, this guy looks like a fair-sized wolf, too. Let's take a look and see. How do you score? Not too bad, 44 GM for one. Yeah, so if you get these guys in a howl animation, you might be able to get a couple of them before they're able to actually react. I kind of wish I could move my one hand so that way it's not quite clipping the bow through my leg, but I guess I'll do. Oh, no, let's... I'm going to try to stay low just because there might be a possibility I can actually get the other one that was here drawn in too. If I knew that they would have been, like, locked into that animation set, I would have tried to even go for both. Like, the bow and arrow might not be as fast as a rifle is for getting another shot in, but it can still actually get some speed if you're skilled with it. See, I'll just give this another minute or two and then see. That's interesting. I wonder if they'll actually be pulled in. Like, they didn't pop off on the hunter mate here as being... See, I might actually be able to get more brought in. I'll just have to wait and see how this goes for a bit. But yeah, that's still the big thing I would love to do, is be able to get us up to that 1,000 mark. Invest some more money, that way I can get better internet service. And then it's not a big problem to say, okay, let's sit here for a while, or like even be able to stream this, and then while we wait and try to listen to what's going on, there's some interaction between us more. But it's been slow going, and hopefully, just kind of keep going until we reach that. I'm curious if we will see that wolf come back or not. Like, it did get startled because of the bow shot, but I don't know if it'd be as severe as, like, with the rifle shot. I also don't think I made too much noise going out to retrieve the other one, so... yeah, I'll give it just a little bit longer. Even if I heard the howls, they could actually be coming from pretty far off. I thought I heard something stepping around over there. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm not hearing any barks. Nothing's been coming up on HunterMate for any calls or that, so I think we're going to be packing up and then moving on. Yeah, we'll pack up, move on. Just going to keep the bow out, just in case. I don't... yeah, there it is. Okay, let's snag you. Would have been nice to get the second wolf, but again, I think because of how it got scared off, it's going to be hard to pull it back in. Well, I'll just go back onto the trail and keep going southwards. I do have the rifle with me as well, so... again, if you are trying to do bow hunting, I'd say to bring a rifle that's ethical as well, or a shotgun or a pistol for the same animals. Just so that way you don't feel like you are trying to be exclusive with bow and arrow, but there are times where you just cannot quite get the opportunity you need. But if you had the firearm, you could. Better be over-prepared than under. See, I don't know how far off that is. And I know there's the elk calf caller, which can work on the wolves, so that... that's interesting. Do I try just using the e-collar without a blind, or do I try putting the blind down and bring these guys in? I think the problem is I don't know exactly where they are. Like, I heard the howl from them, but that doesn't exactly mean they're super close, or they're far, or what have you. And with how the terrain is here... you know what, I think I'll stick to the trail until I actually get something picked up by the hunter mate. Just that way I'm not chasing howls way off in the distance. Okay, there we go. Let's get back up on our feet and continue walking along. Yeah, I've come down using the river a couple of times, and... a couple of times, or has it just been one? God, my memory is awful, isn't it? My memory is just awful, but I know I've used the river at least once, and that's helped get us quite a few different species. That's probably one of the best bits of advice that can be given with the Hunter Classic as a game, is you treat the waterways as natural trails and go along them, because even if there's nothing right at the water's edge, usually the areas around the water are a little bit more opened up and better visibility, so you can at least spot things a little more easier than like being just along a trail and you have complete bush to both sides. I gotta admit, there is something nice about just being able to take a nice scenic walk in an environment like this too, because it is beautiful. Like, look at that. That's a wonderful shot right there, just looking out to the mountain range there. Yeah, I definitely have to give it to Timbergold. I'm pretty sure it's my favorite map of the Hunter Classic. Up until this one was released, it, I think, was Red Feather Falls, but And I think Timbergold Trails definitely took my favorite spot with its release and having this expedition series done on it. I am a little surprised, aside from the wolves, how quiet it's been going down the trail. Nope. Just a female. I don't think I'm going to try going after her. More than likely, she's just on her own, or she's with a bunch of other females, so wouldn't really be worth the time, I don't think. And again, it's not like I can really look out to sea with how the trees are. That's, I think, one of the reasons why I'd be excited to go back to White Rime Ridge, is because if you hear calls, or even you have much better visibility, you can see and get so much information just by looking about. Like when we started in the Southern Lodge, where it's way up on the mountaintop there, you got a lot of visibility to see a bunch of stuff going on. Like we could see the deer, the bison. I never did get the sheep from there, though, so that might be one I'd be eager to go and try to get. A few elk trails, or tracks, sorry. I think I'll just ignore these, because, again, there's no way to tell what these male or female left these behind, and... although maybe they even started going along the trail here, so we might hear something in a little bit. But the Expedition series, I think, has been a very good one so far. Weapon roster-wise, I should try to change it up a little bit with other stuff I do have in my loadout, so I'll see about doing that with some of the episodes, too. It's like, I am an archery nut, I've admitted it quite a bit, and I've really been able to enjoy having a bow and arrow out. I think if I go to White Rime, I would be using the cableback bow. I think they were kind of released together in a way. Like, when White Rime Ridge came out, I think the cableback bow was, like, an item. Because of its, like, history, it was a good fit to come out with White Rime Ridge. Oh, wow. This is supposed to be fairly close by. Or at least going by the tracks it should be. But yeah, I'll leave it all in the comments and see there, but I should try doing a bit of, like, more shotgun hunting, instead of just birds going after other animals, too. Put that to a few paces. I actually don't know if I have any handguns or not. I know you have to, like, you can unlock a handgun slot if you have enough hunter score, but I think that's from doing the missions. Which, again, is... no, what do we got there? Oh, just a mule deer. A lot of females, but nothing really... male-wise I'd focus on and try going after. Not even just like a grizzly or a puma call. Yeah, I'll have to double check my entire inventory for like the Hunter Classic and see everything I do have as options. Because as soon as you kind of figure out how the weapon works a bit more, like in my case, the bow and arrow, I was pretty bad until I got to do the tutorial and just spent a bit more time target shooting and figured out where I have to generally use reference for aiming with it. I think once you kind of figure that out, you get a much better idea of how the weapon works. Oh, excuse me. How the weapon works, the range you need for it. Stuff like that. Can I spot anything down there? Nah, it'd be pretty hard to with all the birch trees. So I'll just wait, see what the poll brings in, and go about for that. Definitely a bit more of a quiet wind down for the Expedition series. I guess I should have probably stuck more to the river. Maybe I would have had a bit more opportunities. Let me just take a glance up and see. Yeah, I haven't had much of anything going on. And I don't really want to try running too much because of how it alerts a large radius around you that basically that's where you are. I thought I would have heard maybe more deer, elk. I mean, I do say that even with the other calls, but again, those were females, not really worth going after. No, just... you again. Yeah, I guess it seems like maybe the trail wasn't the best choice. Either that, or maybe I should have went north instead. Hopefully I can try to get at least another animal or two. Like, a nice thing about the Expedition series is, unlike the reserve tours where I really want to try to get the animals in because I was doing such a limited time on the maps, I'm not too fussed if I don't get a lot of animals on my outings here. Like, so far all we've really gotten was the one wolf, which... bizarre in its own right, but still at least we caught one. But yeah, I am surprised it's been so quiet for other animals. Yeah, hopefully we'll have something make a noise, or we'll be able to... Actually, we're coming up to a good spot we might be able to spot from. Because that is an advantage of the high ground. You get to glance out and see things more. Such as that right there. Pretty good looking elk. It is a ways off, but I might be able to try getting it with the 300. And that's one of the nice things about this trail. It does take you up nice and high, so you can get good view. Grizzly. How far off? Oh, lordy. Okay, not far off at all. She's actually just a head down, but what I think I'd prefer to do... Okay, I think that should have been a lung shot. Okay, there she was. I just saw a little brown blur start moving. Okay, so she was over there. Oh, there she is. Okay, she's heading down the way we took that shot on the elk. I think that should have been a lung shot. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. I don't want to have a die from falling, because I think you can actually... There is fall damage in the Hunter Classic. I want to work my way down, then see where that elk wound up. Again, it looked like it should have been a lung shot. The distance, though, makes me a little iffy on it. But at least we might be able to get that grizzly, too, as we go along here. I'm not sure if she would have been scared for a very long distance or not. I also should have probably tried keeping a better eye on which way the elk went after we shot. I don't know if it went across the water or went back and up along the other bank. Oh, actually, is that our elk right there? I think so. Maybe not. He doesn't seem to have the same configuration for the antlers. Oh, that was a bad shot. I wish you could level up the shooting skill so much faster. Because it's one of the things, because each weapon has its own individual shooting skill, you have to spend so long bringing yourself up to level to then have the sway controlled. It's a bit of a nuisance. Oh. Okay, there's something out in the water. Okay, that's our elk that we got the shot on. So the second one, I don't even know if I actually hit it. But we can at least go collect the one elk, and then we can take a look and see. And already we're basically up towards a time limit too. That's one of the big things about having these deadlines for like a game like this. It's hard to do a series and keep it within so much time because of how long it can take to get around. Okay, so this is from the grizzly. I think she's right up there. I thought I saw her back end. Okay, well, let's get up there. Oh, yeah, there she's moving about. You can just kind of see the dark shape moving. Yeah, right up there. Oh, and there's an elk carcass over there. Yeah, I don't think she'd be coming in towards us. I haven't taken a shot off on her, so she's not wounded. So she'll probably just go running off if we do alert her from our walking up. It might not hurt to have bow and arrow out more so than the rifle. Oh yeah, she really has not moved that much, has she? Well, if that's the case, maybe I will get another... There we go. Okay, so that's another one taken down. So we'll start going about and see here. Is that where the ravens are, or is that the one we got a shot off? I can't tell from here. I'll have to get up a little close to where I think that elk is. Okay, no, that looks like just an elk carcass. So let's start doing pickup. So we got you right here, we got her up there, and then I do have to try to figure out about where the other elk, if I did hit it at all or not. Yeah, this guy looked like he was pretty good from afar. Oh, hopefully he's an area I can actually reach, though, because that's one problem with this game at times. Is that it can have the animals dropped off at areas you cannot reach and get access to. And it's not like Red Dead Redemption, where you can lasso them and bring them in towards you. Oh, don't do this to me. He's right there. Oh, Hunter Classic, you're such a pain in the ass sometimes. Are you telling me I'm not going to be able to retrieve it? Oh my god. Just make it so you can swim. You're a human being. Human beings are able to swim. Oh god, I hate when... I don't see any way I can really get him out of there. It's like, I can't place this down. Am I really want to be screwed out of this guy because of the game? Like... Oh my... If the player can't get through the water there, the animal shouldn't be able to get through the water there. This is like the grizzly bear from last week, where it went running into the middle of the lake and then came back. Okay, you know what? I'm going to end this episode here and then come back with us trying to play tow truck, basically, and getting this guy out. Thank you guys, though, for joining me on another episode of the Hunter Classic. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in comments right down below. And until I see you in the next video, Survivors and Hunters, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.